crew is Johnny and Reese. Alrighty. So if you're wondering how to join the crew, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button to become a part of our crew. Alrighty. So today we're going to be covering The Real Housewives of Potomac, season 6, episode 6. Okay. And so I guess we'll just go ahead and just jump right on in. And so the episode starts out with they are continuing the fight that was going on between Karen and Giselle. Okay. So they're still kind of just bickering back and forth. They're not really accomplishing anything. They're just bickering. And luckily Candace stepped in because I was kind of tired of hearing them just bicker and not go anywhere with it. And but luckily Candace had to be the voice of reason. And she came in and she was like, "Hey, y'all need to have this discussion one on one instead of in front of everybody because you're really not getting anywhere with this." Okay. So what did y'all think of the little bickering fight or whatever you want to call it?
Mm, I felt like it was immature, and it does seem like whatever beefs they have with each other, they're not actually like they just need to talk to each other, say, "Hey, this was bothering me." The other one needs to say, "This was bothering me," and then not, you know what I'm saying, cut it out. But I feel like they're just, I don't know. They're so stuck on whatever it is they're mad at, that one thing that each one is mad at, that they're not even listening to each other. So it's getting kind of, I don't know, it is immature.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
feel like they're pulling stuff almost out of the air to be upset about,
Yeah.
or they're twisting scenarios to
Hmm.
have something to be mad about. Um, yeah, and like I said, it was just I don't know, it was sad.
Yeah.
Not in like a sad way. This is just yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was funny how it was Candace
Hmm.
Yeah,
Saying it's immature.
who said, maybe y'all just
yeah,
need to talk. And even she was kind of saying it was getting annoying. So
yeah. And I was like, that should have made y'all feel this big.
I know,
To
right?
have Candace of all people. That's like Ashley saying that same thing. Yeah, it would have made me feel like this big. So
Yeah. I think
absolutely.
she had even commented on the fact that, like you had been saying, they're too old for that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, because they really are. All right. So after Candace breaks up their little bickering, the women they head over to the cottage. The ones who are staying at the cottage, they head over there. And so for me, I was just like, okay, this cottage, okay, it's cute and all, but it was not the same amenities that they had at the big one. It's
No.
just not. And I even felt bad for them. Like they had to carry their own luggage up the stairs. Like you couldn't have sent y'all's doorman over there to help them with the luggage. That was just my thought. I'm like, oh, I would have been hot.
Yeah.
And then something else I didn't think about before was Escala. She is actually friends with Robin, but she wasn't in the house with Robin.
Yeah.
So I was always to the cottage and then knowing that my friend that brought me into this group is up in nicer accommodations and she kicked me out of one room. You couldn't have kicked somebody out of another room to get me in that main house, but yeah, that's just me. And so they also show Ashley. So her and Michael, they're taking family portraits, and an interesting conversation started. So Ashley starts talking to Michael about going and joining the ladies. And where is our resident shady lady? I
Oh,
want to
Yolanda.
say yes, because Michael brought up Juan and Rob.
Hmm.
He was like, "Have they got married yet, or whatever?" It was funny. He was throwing some shade. What did
Hmm.
y'all think about Michael throwing that shade?
Well, I think it really makes me wonder what the hell Juan told him. You know what I'm saying? Because even last year, he
Uh huh.
was totally kind of thrown that he was getting ready to propose.
Right.
Now he's sitting there saying that he's using the pandemic as an excuse because he really doesn't want to get married. So it's really interesting to me because I'm like, well, what the hell have they been talking about? Because he's acting like he
Yep.
knows something we don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Very much so. So I'm wondering now. Yeah, because I mean, he just seems so confident in what he's saying. It's not even, it doesn't even seem a little bit shaky. So,
Right.
yeah, so I am wondering what has been some of their conversations. Okay. And so back in Williamsburg, the ladies start getting dressed for dinner. Right. And so, see, I need my buddy on here. Um, so there's a scene where Giselle like comes into Robin's room. She's like, our balconies connect to our rooms. Did you know that?
Oh
I
my
was like,
god. That's still to me, that's still on some best friend stuff. Like that ain't
It
nothing.
when
is.
she
There's
ran
nothing.
into the room, and then she's like, "Did you know? Did you know?" I'm like, what the
Yeah. But that's that best friend type stuff.
That is. There's nothing lesbian going on there.
Okay, I'll let y'all play. I have my opinion about that. And then Giselle and Robin, they have a sit down discussion about Wendy, who at this point is actually roaming around the house. She's doing a full tour of the house,
I
and they're
thought they were
just
gonna get
talking
caught.
about her.
I thought they were gonna get caught.
Yeah, I was hoping. Actually, I was hoping because they were being two faced in that moment.
Hmm.
Um,
What?
and so
Yeah.
like
Well, I don't know that
Giselle,
it was two faced. I mean, they were discussing a friend and trying to see if each one felt the same way.
Yeah.
Is that
but
really
they were,
being two faced?
but
I
it's
wouldn't
not
say
like,
two faced.
oh, they were concerned about her. They weren't. That was two faced because they should have had that conversation with her. She was in the house. They could have at least
They didn't know
brought
she
her
was there
to.
yet.
Yeah, they didn't know she was in the house. And I think it would be kind of like maybe let me see if my point's valid.
Hmm.
Like I talk to you first and be like, hey, this is what's going on with such and such. What do you think? And then
But
see what you feel. And then if we're both on the same page, then you bring it to the person.
well, see, this is the thing. Like the way you're saying it, it's not the way that I feel like they were doing it though. It was almost like, first of all, Giselle, what is kind of aggravating me about the situation is she knows the point that she's trying to make. She's trying to say that Wendy has changed because of those rumors. But it's like she's trying to act all like she's being nice and being concerned about it. No, you're really being dirty because that's what you really want to say, but you don't have the courage to say it.
Hmm.
It's like, just be real with the girl. Instead of playing these little games that you're playing and trying to act like you're this nice person who's only concerned about her, because you're not concerned about her. Because you would have approached the situation, you would even approach Rob. I felt like she was playing games like with Robin. Because, like I said, I feel like she had an agenda for her conversation with Robin, and she knew where she was trying to make that conversation lead. I don't think she was trying to see if Robin is noticing the same thing. Because I don't know.
Hmm.
For me, if I feel like, okay, Johnny's man is cheating on her and she's acting differently because he's cheating on her, I feel like that's the conversation I need to have with Johnny. I don't need to go have it with Reese first and try to get a buy-in on Reese. No, like I should talk to you, and then also when I talk to you, oh, okay, I'm gonna get to that in a second once we get to their little conversation. All right, so Wendy walks into the room and she's like, "Am I interrupting something?" They're like, "Oh no, 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 everything's fine." And so they all get into cars and they oh, I'm sorry. So Candace, I almost forgot her name for a second. Candace walks in and she has gift bags for everyone because at this point everyone has now gathered into the same room. And so they start going through their bags and they have these what would you really call those? Swim caps? What did they
Those
say they
things are
were? Swim caps.
huge.
They were huge. And so she had given them that as a gift. And then Giselle announces that they are going to do water aerobics the next day and she is going to be leading it. And, of course, there was some shade thrown because Karen, she really wasn't having that whole water aerobics thing. And for the others, they seemed like they would be open to doing it. But Karen, she definitely wasn't with it. She even made a little slide comment, something about she had no interest in taking a dip with the devil or something like that. She had
Hmm.
said.
Yes.
I was like, Karen, y'all just squash that, Let's calm down a little bit. And so they go to a dinner, and while they're at the dinner, um, Candace, why am I forgetting her name? Candace um, brings up her and Chris's relationship. I'm sorry, y'all heard. So sorry, guys. All right, so like I said, Candace brings up her and Chris's relationship. She mentions how now their gender roles have changed. I guess Chris is doing the cooking and I guess taking care of the house, and then now she is working. And then Giselle brings up Candace's mom and asks her, "Well, how does your mom feel about Chris being your husband?" Right. And so she says her mom is not really happy with it. And she also reveals that she's not paying him, um, or at least not monetarily. She's not paying him. And she says that, it's great having Chris as her husbander because he believes in her more than she believes in herself. And she says he's pushing her as well. And, Giselle was kind of asking some questions that was that you could tell that I guess Candace wasn't necessarily liking the questions that were being asked
Mhm.
of her. And so she kind of just ends it with she's like, "Well, he's my husband and I trust him. I wouldn't have married him basically if I felt like he was going to steal from me." What did y'all think of that conversation?
Um, I was thrown off because to me the whole dinner Giselle was kind of out of control.
She was.
So she was throwing me off. So yeah, I mean, like I get where Giselle was coming from because it can. I do feel like if you take a man out of the typical manly role, sometimes that can cause resentment. And I don't know if
Right.
it'll be on Candace's part, maybe more so on the husband, because like they said, if he's doing this and helping her, is he really following his dreams? So I get it, but at the same time, that's if he's okay with doing it, that's their business, and so what?
I
So.
think I think um we have to, I don't know. I think Giselle is older, and I think because of her situations and how she's been burned, you're just trying to make sure that they're seeing the whole picture and not just the little bit. Like she's just, I think she was just making sure, like, hey, is he cool with this? Are you paying him? How does that make you feel? This, that, and the other. And when she said she wasn't paying him, it still brought up the question, well, how is he making money? Like, how is he providing? How is he taking care of home? Is it your mom taking care of home again? How does that work? So I think it's more I don't know. I don't know. I think I really just think that she was just trying to make sure she was thinking about the whole thing. Because as we are, when we're young, and we have older people in our ear, we're trying to make sure we're wanting to live for ourselves and not get bitter by what they're saying to us. But then it does kind of bring in a light that you probably wouldn't have necessarily thought about.
But you know what? Also with that, I think it's also the messenger. I think if one of the other ladies had been asking her that, she wouldn't have maybe thought that way. Because, like, for me, Giselle has not had a positive relationship to give me any advice about me and my marriage. I probably would have told her to shut up. Like, I don't want to hear that from you. What you're going to do is you're going to cause me to have my man cheating on me, and then I'm lying about having a marriage and everything else. And that's the issue was I felt like Giselle just kept being so negative. It was almost like she was just looking around the room looking for something to be negative about. And then she sees a target and it's like, doo, 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 let me go in here. Because she even did it to Robin, which I was shocked by. Because I'm like, isn't this your friend? Like, okay, so I get what she was saying to Robin, but it's like, again, that was a conversation that should not have happened at that table between her and Robin. If you're gonna be honest with your friend, so I get it. Maybe some of the stuff she was doing, she was just trying to be honest with Robin, but it's like, don't do that at table 4. Like, I could respect her if she had did that opportunity. I could have respected what she said. Even some of the things she said to Candace, I could have respected. But it's like, why are you doing this on camera, sweetie? Okay, so let me elaborate on what happened. So Robin, which I didn't really understand, it was like she was trying to piggyback off of what Candace had said to them, well, this is what's going on in my relationship. So it was almost like, okay, well, that sounds like me and Juan. What part of what Candace said sounded like you and Juan? Are you taking, is Juan not working right now? Like, what's going on? That was something that I didn't quite understand.
She
But
said like him kind of pushing, like saying, "Oh, we'll do this," when she don't really want to.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's what she was comparing. So I
The
guess
more
that
of the
part,
husbander side, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so she reveals that she sleeps in the bed until 10. She lays in the bed from 10 to 11 watching TV. And then did you catch, she's like, she may get up at 12. Come on. And so she was saying that, Juan isn't necessarily happy with that. And then Giselle started in with her questions and her assumptions like, okay, do you think that's why you're not married? And a man doesn't want to marry unattractive. And then, are you neglecting your kids? I think that was the part that really bothered me. It was like, are you neglecting your kids too?
Yeah.
I think she said something though, and then she said, "Yeah," because one of her sons
Yeah,
had a freaking 49.
Hmm.
yeah. But
So,
your kids
yeah, she is
are
neglecting her kids. I don't know if
so
that comment came before or after, because if you're sitting there letting your kids starting to fail school, what the hell is going on? Now, I get what you're saying as far as how she was being, but I think with Robin, she did show her friendship because she tabled it. She stopped talking about it after everyone started talking about the depression and this, that, and the other. She got
yeah. Once
quiet,
she saw
and then
that
she
nobody
talked.
else was doing what she was doing, I think she kind of got a glimpse like, wait a minute, maybe I'm going a little too hard. So she stopped herself.
Yeah, no, I think she just stopped herself because she knew she was going to have a private conversation with her anyway. I don't, I, I don't see what you guys see. I don't know, Greasy, that you see it, but I don't see the harshness in what Giselle does or says. I know she's messy, and I know she gets out there and says things, but I don't know. I just don't. It doesn't. When she was speaking, it didn't come from a place of I don't like you ladies, and I'm going to spread your business.
Maybe because she wasn't yelling, but I think I could have respected it more if she had been yelling. And I'm like, okay, she was mad. That's why she said and was behaving that way. But I didn't understand why a calm woman was talking like that to her friend. And it was almost like she was talking to somebody she felt like didn't even have feelings. Like she was just so harsh. That was just my thing. And then even with her talking about, so are you neglecting your kids? That would have been the end for me. Like, don't try to paint me to be a bad mother. Now, granted, your kids can fail. Now, luckily, I had a good kid who always was on the honor roll. So I don't understand that. But I think if he had slipped and for somebody to try to say, oh, you're neglecting your son because he got an F on his test, I don't think that's very fair though either. But sometimes kids just go through rough spots. Now, if she refuses to work with him, that's something different. But I don't know.
Yeah, but don't you
I
think
don't like.
she is kind of refusing to work with him? She gets him to school late. He's missing assignments. It's not like it's just one day or one week. This has been going
But
on
see,
for.
we did defend her in the last episode though when she wasn't getting up out of the bed.
Yeah, we did. But I'm just saying, like, at what point is it not neglect?
I would say it's neglect when she's not feeding them, when she's not bathing them, when she, is putting them in front of an iPad instead of spending time with them. Um, I don't know. I'm not one to quickly say somebody is an unfit mother or say that they're neglecting their kids. I have to really see something because we all go through things, especially as moms. So you can drop. I'm not gonna try to cast a woman like that because you can drop the ball and it's okay because you've got a lot going on as a mom. But I just feel like, and then in front of everybody like that, and you've already there's already a big rift where you feel like it's team one and team two over here, and then you're putting your friend out like that. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
It would have hurt me badly. Um,
Yeah.
if some of those things were said about me.
Yeah, well, that's why I think, like I said, she stopped. I think she kind of realized and she stopped. I don't think it's because no one else was ganging up on her. I just think she just was like, okay, I've not heard this because Robin didn't confide in her that those things were going on. So I think she was just kind of taken aback, repeating what she was saying. And now she's like, okay, let me think about this because, of course, next week they actually talk about what she was talking about by
Yeah,
themselves. So
you know what? And
she's
yeah, and I
doing it
will,
one on one, you know?
yeah, and I will agree with you on that. She did look surprised when Robin started saying it. Like, well, I haven't heard this, but my thing is, look at how you behave yourself. Why would somebody confide in you? Even Robin, why would she confide in you when you've been behaving the way you have been? So
Well,
I,
I think too, though, Juan and Giselle are friends. So I think too, the fact that Juan hasn't said anything to Giselle either is kind of probably like, what the hell? I didn't know this was going on. Because Juan confides in Giselle. Hell, they went shopping and picked out the ring. So I think it's all kind of like, where is all this coming from? I didn't know she was depressed. I didn't know she was going through this stuff. And then, of course, she did mention the fact that she gets, they called it seasonal depression. And that maybe it's a little bit more than that. So I don't
yeah,
know. I think, I just think personally that she was just kind of taken aback and repeating it really loud because she couldn't believe what was happening. Like, you're what? And you're neglecting the kids? What? You know, like in the sense of she heard the the failing comment. I think she said something else about the kids, and that's what she just took from it. Like she was summarizing everything she heard. My opinion.
So my opinion on it. Um, so I feel like um, I don't think it's as she was going. So Giselle was like kind of going in on everybody, but I felt like the only reason that it was annoying me is because you can't say nothing to her. However, but I would have kept going if I was the rest of them. So that's their fault for letting her like squash it. I'm like, okay, we can't talk about that. Then let's talk about this. Can't talk about that. Okay, let's talk about this. Prove your point. But I think when she was saying it, it some of it is the way I believe like she this is the first time she heard it. And I think maybe her personality type
Mm-hmm.
is maybe inquisitive or something. And so when she hears something, maybe she just starts asking questions like that. And
Yeah,
I don't and I think by her doing that to Robin, although it kind of sucks, it also, you know what I mean, it kind of show like, I mean, it ain't just no favoritism or I just pick on this one person. I mean, that's, I guess that's just,
that's just who
you
she
know,
is.
that's who she is. But I think the comment with the kids, I don't think that was coming from a bad place. I think it was because it seems almost like maybe all of them get up early. And
Mm-hmm.
so everybody's like, whoa, you get up at 12. Yo, they going, whoa, whoa. And then it's like,
One,
your
yeah,
kids at home. You don't think you're neglecting them? Like,
yeah,
that's kind
one
of late to be getting up when you got two kids at home.
every day, 1
Yeah, so
p.m.
I don't think
She
it
said
was.
she might get up at 12.
Yeah,
yeah, she did say she might.
Like her day don't even start till the kids are out of school. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part
Yeah,
that's when you're sitting
Mhm.
there and like I said, you see their grades and you're like, what the hell? At some point you've got to be like, okay, hold up, hold up, hold up. Let me figure this out because this is too much. And then again, like you said, we don't know Juan's situation. Is he working from home? Is he working out of state?
well,
Like what
it
the
looks like
hell?
he's not even living there,
He's
even if he
not
is working
there.
from home. you know.
Yeah, he's just not there. So therefore, she's
Yeah,
doing
a
it
lot
all by
is falling
herself.
on her. So
Mhm.
that was another reason why I was just like, I don't know. I just have an issue with trying to save somebody is like that.
I didn't take that comment as a bad mom so
Yeah,
much
I didn't
as
If
either.
you're neglecting your kids, you're a bad mom in my eyes. How are you neglecting your children? You need to pay attention to them first,
Well, you
especially
can
before
neglect
running behind
certain
some man.
things. Like you said, not everyone feels that. Like you feel food is being not eating is being neglectful, or she might feel that grades are important, and therefore, when you find somebody's making horrible grades, you're neglecting their
But
grades.
she said that before Robin said, I mean, before
mm.
Giselle said that are you
Well,
neglecting your kids?
didn't she say like, do you think you're neglecting your kids?
I think it was
I'm
more of
not
a
sure how she
question.
said it, but I was not.
I
All
think
right.
it was more of a question. I think it was after how she heard she wasn't waking up till 12, 2 o'clock.
Hmm.
On the weekend is different, but every day,
Yeah.
like there's got to be some point where you're like, well, are you taking care of your kids if you're sleeping till 2 every day?
I would say that when she got
I
young,
just
because they're still kind of young, like, and they're homeschooling. Like, I think if you
she
are
has
not,
like preteens. They're like preteens, but
oh, yeah, the little one look
I
I
think
thought
younger
I'm just
I
right now.
thought he was like 7 or 8. He's not young like that. He looks little.
Yeah, he did.
I don't really necessarily know the ages, but I remember the one that they showed. He looked like he was at least 11 or 12, and I
But
know they're like
still, you gotta stay
stepper
on them. I
babies.
think if they're young like that, though.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta stay on them. But I don't know. I wouldn't have went so far as to be like, "Are you neglecting your kids because I'm in bed? I must be neglecting them completely." Maybe I checked on them and I got back in the bed. Well, we know she checks on them and gets back in the bed, or at least wakes them up. But I don't know. I just don't like that being
Hmm.
said, and then especially you're doing it on TV. Like I don't know. I don't know, but I'll let that go. All right. So then after that conversation happens, Giselle looks at Wendy and she's like, "Oh, and me and Robin were talking today, and we were talking about how you were behaving differently." And then of course Rob jumps in and is like, "Yeah," and she's saying, "You're not the same person that I met last year," which I could have understood that statement. But then she's like, it's like now you're twerking and you're dressing different and you're loose. I was like, girl, you got some nerve. You got some real nerve. Why are you calling this married mother of three loose?
I feel like Wendy didn't even care about the loose comment. She was more about the substance, and I'm like,
Substance. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was stuck on
but I
that
do
more than
understand
anything
that.
else.
Yeah, absolutely. But so then Giselle jumps back in. I'm thinking, okay, maybe she's gonna try to clean this up some for Robin. No, she doesn't. She keeps on going in on Wendy, and she's just like, yeah, something's different. I can't put my hands on it. Last year, you were of substance. I'm like, here we go. I know you are not talking about somebody not having substance when she has none. Every conversation this woman has is she is talking about somebody, she is judging somebody. Like she doesn't sit down and have normal conversations. They have not shown her have that. And then it's like, well, what we see with her man, I don't even think she can't take that kind of conversation into conversation with a man. So now you're probably appearing uninteresting to men. And then here you are calling this, even though her 4 degrees got on my nerves last year, I would at least that she doesn't have stressing
oh,
differently because she has a new body. And I felt so bad for Wendy. And I'm not even a Wendy fan. I don't care for Wendy at all. But I just felt like that was an attack that y'all should have done completely different. Because if you're saying, okay, you've changed, and I'm just trying to figure out why you've changed, you don't throw insults in there. She's not going to tell you why she's changed. And I know why Giselle is doing it. Giselle is trying to get her to confess about the rumors with Eddie. But if you feel like she's changed because her man is cheating on her, you attacking her like this, it's not going to make her confess to you. Oh, yes, I went and got my boobs done because my man's cheating on me. No, she's not. She's going to clam up to you now. She's not going to talk to you. But I don't know. What do y'all think of that? And the
so,
substance.
um, so my opinion on it is, Wendy is doing the most. Like
I mean, she
I
is.
because
She
like
is.
when Mia said, she said you wouldn't see Michelle Obama dressing like that. You
Right.
wouldn't see, you know what I'm saying? And it is a certain way, and I get what she's saying. Like, okay, you can be because you can be sexy and classy at the same time. Like her sexiness is becoming like
It's trash.
yeah, it's getting to the point of being
It's
like she
stinky.
don't look like a mother of three.
No.
First of all, if
Yeah,
I saw her in the, you know what I'm saying, the way she's dressing, I wouldn't be like, oh, look at that sophisticated mother of three. She looks, you know what I'm saying? It's more like, oh, snap, her outfit cute, but not for the reasons you think. It's like, oh, okay, like, that look like some stuff. We finna go to the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't, especially when you see how everybody else is dressing as well. Like, she don't
yeah,
fit
yeah. I
in
would
with the group
certainly
no more
agree with
either.
that. Like, she's not really dressing with the group, but you got to think about the group. They're not the best dressers either, though.
They might not
Wendy,
be, but she,
Yeah, no, because
like,
like
so
Robin's
yeah,
shirt looked like she was from prison. And then
yes, she came out with her Halloween
I know
attire
I was
early.
like,
I was
oh,
like,
that is
what is
not
she
cute.
wearing?
Yeah, but
Yes,
I
so
just all I can say is I don't feel sorry for her at all. I think it is a far change from what she was acting last year to where she's at now.
but just because she's dressing differently, we need to say she doesn't have substance anymore.
But she hasn't been having substance. Look at how she's been arguing with people left and right. How she argued with Mia those two times.
But I
And
mean,
then the part
all of
that
them are doing it.
But then the
All of
part
them
that
are,
was trip
yeah.
yeah, but that's not how she was. That's you're coming from who she was to who she is now. Now, if she started off doing all this like she's doing now last year, then you wouldn't have anything to say because it's the same person. But that's not who she was last year. Last year she didn't sit there and when she did have stuff to say, she made sure she understood what was going on. She didn't jump
She
to
was very
conclusions.
diplomatic about it.
She didn't jump to conclusions about stuff. It's a whole different ball game. And then when uh I think it was the video, didn't they say something about how she was actually yelling at Giselle before she started yelling at Mia? I would
Yeah,
have thought
and I
that would have
was glad that she did acknowledge that to Mia, and she was like, "No, something else was going on," and I could respect that because nobody from the show has came forward and said what it was and why she was behaving that way. So I
yeah.
absolutely can understand that.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Most of her stuff hasn't been she hasn't been her Professor Wendy, I'm gonna educate you type person. She has been, oh, I'm a ditz and I argue like this type person. Because even Mia said it. And that was like one of the best reads. I really like Mia too. But
You know
I
what?
don't
I
know.
love Mia, but for me, I was torn in that statement because okay, so she made a good point. She said that Michelle Obama and Oprah, you don't see them showing their chest. No, but guess what? Every time we see them, they are basically working. I don't know how she dresses when her and Barack are at the house or when they step out for a night on the town. I don't know that. And I think we even talked about this before. We were like, okay, if you're a professor, you should dress a certain way at work and like certain expectations. I get it. When she's at work, she needs to be dressed like a professor. But when she's at home, does she need to walk around with pumps and a suit on?
yeah, but does she gotta have her boobs all the way to like the
Oh,
nipple area?
ow. Like,
Like, it's
like,
one thing to show it and to be
yeah.
like, this is
No,
my new
I
body and
absolutely
it looks
agree.
good.
Yeah, she is
Like you
doing
can
both.
wear some cleavage out, but cover the other stuff, or wear your midriff out, or wear some short shorts, but wear like a flowy top. You know, what I mean, there's ways to do
Yeah,
it
Yeah,
to
and
still
I
even
be
do
sexy
agree with
and
that
cute.
point. I was just saying, like when Mia made that statement, I'm like, wait a minute, Mia. So you expect her to run around with pumps and a suit on? Is that what you're saying all the time? Now, has she been dressing too young, too sexy a little bit? I hate to say too sexy because, like Wendy said, only she can determine what's her sexy.
Yeah.
But I do think she's been doing the most with her clothing. But her clothing choices more so remind me of like when you have a friend who's lost weight, like let me lose some pounds. Y'all gonna hate me because I'm gonna have that crop top on. I'm gonna have that mini skirt on. I'm telling you right now what I'm gonna do. And that's what it kind of reminds me of. And like she's just doing too much because it's like, oh my God, I've got these cool stuff and let me wear this and I could never do that. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Um, like uh, like I said, let me get the
I
cornstarch
would
body
think
some
though,
extra.
in that sense, I don't think I would be dressing that way around women. I
Yeah,
would dress that way
yeah,
around my man. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like when we're out,
Like,
so
yeah,
you
because
can
like,
see
yeah,
what he has type thing. I don't know that
Hmm.
I
right,
dress that way around a bunch of women. I'd be
right. Now
like,
I yeah,
you
absolutely.
know,
I do
I don't.
agree with you on that point. Because even like that little Versace like bralette that she had on with her little leather pants,
They
I
look
was
too
like, okay,
little.
she's wearing
It
that
was too
with
tight.
Yeah, it was
Like,
too
I
tight.
think
But
if
I was
she had
like,
had
she
that,
should have. Yeah, she should have worn that around her man.
right, or if she
I
had
give
had it
them
a
that.
little bit bigger, it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like it was barely almost covering the
Yeah.
nipples. And I was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
really? Like, how do you, I mean, really, in all honesty, how do you go from being covered up the way she was and still wearing form-fitting clothes to all of a sudden being half naked every time you leave the house? Like, that just doesn't seem, that does seem different. That does
Mhm.
seem like there's something else going on that we don't know.
See, with
Because
that,
that's
oh,
just like so far from what she wore last year. And I know they only showed you like bits and pieces of how she used to dress, but she still looked nice. She still
mhm.
looked sexy. And this just is totally different. Like, you
Yeah.
don't even see Mia dressing like that, in the way they've grouped her to be how she is, but you don't
Yeah,
even
and I
see
felt like
her
that's
showing all her
where.
stuff like that.
Yeah, because it was like when Mia saw her. Did y'all see Mia kind of gave her a look, and I almost felt like the look that Mia gave her wasn't more like what is she wearing. It was like why, why don't I have get to dress like this? Why is she dressing like this, and I do believe she feels judged, like with the whole stripper thing, like they keep trying to judge her. So she feels like she has to be a certain type of way for them not to judge her. So why is Wendy getting dressed like this and not be judged? That's
Oh,
kind of
but
what
Oh,
she
it
is
that's
being
oh.
judged.
I think I didn't hear what you said. I thought you said she was looking like, why can't I wear that? I thought you
no, no, not like because Mia could pull that outfit off. She
yeah.
Yeah,
could.
she
She
could.
really could. Yeah.
A few of them could if they really want to. I mean, nobody got like bad bodies or nothing, but
No.
I feel
Even
like
Karen could fit that.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Have you seen Karen's Instagram?
yeah,
Karen got it going on.
yeah she
No,
do,
I can
yeah
tell
she do,
Karen's very fit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you can see it in
I
her
didn't I
clothes.
didn't really realize she was so fit. I guess because I was just thinking she's an older lady and I didn't
Older
even think
lady, yeah.
about it. but the only thing that I would say, because I mean I ain't gonna keep going ham on the girl. If she want to dress like a whatever, like me personally, if I saw her, I wouldn't think she was some like classy lady. No. And
Mm-mm,
I
she was
agree, like wear that around your man, wear it on dates, wear it to the club. You going out as girls' night, wear that to the club. But like you don't have to wear stuff like that when y'all just chilling or
just
y'all just
going out
hanging
to
out.
eat.
Yeah.
Or
Are
y'all,
y'all
Yeah.
going to a dinner at? I thought they was going to go to a nicer restaurant than that.
yeah.
Sorry,
But
but
this is Williamsburg. I don't know how what's all out there,
yeah,
Yeah.
for her to dress like that. Yeah.
but it was like almost like when Mia walked into the cafe place or whatever with the ball gown, it's just out of place. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like you doing the most too with that outfit. Just
Right.
like he's doing the most with hers. But I felt like so this is my thing on that Versace top. Because I know I said it was too little. So when what made me mad was that
Uh-huh.
she talking about some. She's like, "Oh, every time I eat, my boobs get bigger." No, chick, you getting
Yeah.
full, and you can't fit that top. You couldn't fit it when you put it on. Now every
Right.
time you eat, it's tighter. It ain't that your boobs are getting bigger, girl. You knew you couldn't fit that top when you put it on. I don't even know who helped her
Right.
get into that top.
Yep.
Now, was she some?
Probably
If she
Bobby
was
and
some,
Chanel helped her.
she was some young chick. I mean, and then girl, and I like the look, because I'm all about cardigans, so I love that little black cardigan thing she had with it, and the concept of the outfit was really cute. But get a bigger top if you gonna want to sport your big boobs, or get at because to me that's like the girls that wear the little itsy bitsy triangles. It's like you got a D cup. Why are you wearing an A cup triangle on your boobs when you wearing a bikini? You know what I'm saying? Like that drives me crazy. 'Cause I can't stand for a whole thing to be out. And I felt like that's what hers was doing. Like it was giving me
Yeah.
triangles. That's the look she was giving. Was what I'm saying, a too little top, and you mad that they saying something, but you're the only one who came in there because she could have had cleavage. You didn't need all the cleavage though.
And the
Right.
belly.
Yeah, I mean,
And the
and you
tight
know what?
belly.
And I would not have even been mad that it was a crop top and cleavage. It just was because you almost forget she had a belly showing because you couldn't get past the cleavage. It was like just
Yeah, it was just
like,
way
and
up
then
there.
like here go your nipple and here go the top. Like you know what I'm saying? You just it's
Yeah.
like just
Right.
like
All right.
uh-oh.
So
Maybe
Jamel
she's
says
having.
maybe she's having a midlife crisis, or she's trying to find her a young stallion. You know what? Maybe. Maybe she's getting tired of Eddie, and she wants to find her a little dip. as long as you
Maybe,
go
maybe
out with
Stella trying to get her groove back. I don't know. All I know is
Cover up.
get you. You know what I'm saying? And again, if you want to dress like you know what I'm saying, a lady of the night or whatever you want to do.
yeah,
When I
I
was
don't
a
like to be the
young
one.
kid in the club, but
Yeah,
Right.
like I don't like to be the one that's not dressed appropriately,
hmm
um, or dressed too down. I'd rather be
hmm
overdressed than underdressed. So I
yeah,
definitely can understand that. Yeah, and
yeah.
so this never-ending dinner continues on.
You have to look for the
It's
whole
not like
show.
this dinner, yeah, took up the whole show. And
It did.
so, what's her name? Applesauce. She goes to Giselle and she's like, so, you have brought up, several
Oh,
times this man. So are you in a relationship? I'm like, girl,
No,
watch
that
it. Our
was
next
so.
question, she's
She
gonna
was
come
not
through.
the person. She was not the person to bring that up. And then that makes you wonder what Robbins told her about Giselle.
Okay, okay, I can take, I can buy into that.
So
Yeah,
that
because
was
how did
I
she
was
know
like,
that?
yeah,
Right.
like I was just like, what in the
no.
world? She was so random.
So you got to remember, she been at that house. My first thing would be, did
Oh,
Karen say something? That's what I would
Yeah,
have thought if
but
I
she
was
cared.
there.
Oh, because she was at that house with
Yeah, they're at the
yeah,
house.
that's
So
true
these three
too.
been at the house gossiping too.
That
But see,
is
I
true.
felt
And
like it really came from them sitting at the table with them arguing. That's where she had picked it up from. But I
Mm-mm.
do believe Robbins probably said something to that
I
girl.
think it came from the house. We just didn't see it
you're right. That's true too
Yeah.
because
because they went
Karen
to the
does.
house bitter.
Yeah, and she does keep bringing it up over and over and over again. She wants
hmm
answers, so why not have astronaut do it?
And then
Appalachian, you know what? But Appalachian, she's very nosy, and she just be all into everybody's business because she's been speaking up a little too much. Where I'm like, wait a minute, you need to know your role, girl, and
Yeah,
this is
you
not
are a
the time and
side
place
chick.
for you. Yeah, so she
yeah,
so yeah, so absolutely. So she brings up Jamal and is like, "Are you in a relationship?" And Giselle is like, "Look, I don't want to talk about it with this group. I'll talk about it alone with you. There's trolls here and la la." But I'm like, "But you have been all up in everybody's mouth, and then for you to go there, you need to shut your mouth about other people's relationships." That's kind of how I felt about it. I was like, "Wait a
yeah.
minute, now
Now that
you."
that is that's the part I was saying like you dishing it but you can't take it. That part I didn't agree with about Giselle. I'm like you can't shut something down you don't want to talk about, but yet you brought up the most uncomfortable questions when you asked everybody else. Because I mean the stuff she asked wasn't comfortable. Was she
Right.
100% wrong? What she was saying wasn't necessarily wrong because maybe these are things that those women, like you said, she has, even if her relationship didn't hold water on nobody's, she still has experience or she still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she has
What
experience
she
of
was
running
saying
her
was
man
stuff they
off,
do need to think about. Cause like I mean, literally, like
but
minus
it's
her
like
just going in, well,
she needs to take her
maybe
own advice.
I mean, but that's the thing is that nobody's asking her any other questions. It's like soon as she shut it down, they shut it down. And I'm like, so that to me, that's their fault.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because I would have kept on asking like, oh
Yeah.
no, no, no. Look, yeah, I would have said
So to
all
me,
of
they
that.
all look like some punks. Like, so I guess they all scared of her. And I guess Karen was like, I ain't finna deal with it tonight. So I respect Karen because she the only one that to me, comes at her like that. And then I don't want to jump too far ahead. Yeah, I'll wait because we'll get there. I guess when Karen was comforting her girl, but I'm just like, you can't be that one that's got the big mouth. Like that's like if somebody turned around and asked Akila and the bee, whatever, or something about her. You know what I'm saying? Then she couldn't get mad because you put yourself in it. You know what I mean?
Oh
But
right, or
don't be that one that you got to be like, hey, I saw you picking your nose. I saw you scratching your butt. And why your shoes don't match and your feet stink. And then they like, well, I saw you over there walking with toilet tissue on your shoe. And she like, don't talk about it. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't
yeah,
do that. You can't. Now that
right,
I don't like about her. That's an ugly quality.
yeah. Because if you really think about it, here we got Escalade asking these questions, but we don't know nothing about her man. Now on the phone, he sounds like he has an accent. I don't know if y'all caught that.
Oh, I didn't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it sounds like he has an accent. So, like almost like an African accent. That's what I
Yeah,
heard about
he's. I
that.
mean, in all
She's
honesty,
African,
I
right?
grew up with.
I believe she probably is.
She's Eritrean, right? Or is she
Yeah,
Ethiopian?
Eritrean. Yeah,
Is she Eritrean?
yeah. That's what. Didn't she say that? I thought she said it when Robin was like, meet my African friend, or remember
Yeah,
when they were in a thing and she was telling Wendy and.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
grow up around Eritreans, and they normally marry within their culture. So he's probably Eritrean. It's a small country outside of Ethiopia.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So, I'm gonna get off of earplugs and I'm gonna start talking about and so, oh my God, I was on somebody else's YouTube channel and they said Candace is a dancing squirrel.
A
You
And
said
dancing
now,
Candace
squirrel.
what?
yeah, and now every time I see her dancing around, that's my mind kind of think, whatever.
Oh, when she
But
was
we see,
practicing her
yes.
dance moves.
So
She's
we
stiff.
saw, unfortunately,
She is
we had to
stiff.
see her. Yeah, she's very stiff and strange.
Yeah,
Very
because when
stiff
she's
and
doing the
strange.
routine, I'm like, that's not it.
That
I
ain't
mean,
it.
I
That's
hope that's
enough.
not
that ain't it.
it.
I hope that ain't it. Please tell me that ain't it. I'm like, I want to say that the music video was weird too with the dancing. Like, yeah.
It's
I feel like
trying
if
too
you ain't a
hard.
dancer, just do a little
Just
like
yeah,
maybe
Yeah,
step
side to
in for a sec.
side.
You don't gotta do the whole routine. Let them do it.
No,
right. Yeah, we've seen Ashanti make a career out of not
Yeah,
dancing.
yeah,
not
yeah,
dancing.
yeah.
That is
And then
correct.
when she finally did, you like what? Because she like I'm gonna finally dance, and then it was just a little
It was
side to
too
side. That was
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I was like,
And then they had her doing it in heels. Like you, if you can barely dance on your bare feet, you sure can't dance in heels.
yeah.
yeah. And then it was like, what I'm saying? Look, I ain't gonna go because I'm gonna go. I'm gonna keep going on. And she don't deserve. She ain't part of this. But yeah,
Yeah,
she couldn't dance, and yeah, that's what I'm
but me,
getting. That's the vibe I'm getting from Candace. It's like just let them do it.
yeah,
Just let them
but
do
Reese
it.
and I, we've had a long history of not liking Ashanti. I don't like her. This has been going on for a long time. Since she came out, we have had our feelings about her.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they go back to the
Wait,
house.
let me say one thing, because we
Okay,
can't just breeze past the Ashanti beef, and it ain't even that we just hate her. Because I mean, like in some of the movies, I liked
we
her a
don't
little
like
bit,
her. What
but
movie?
uh,
She was in
Coach Carter is on there.
Well, yeah, she
yeah.
was in that movie, but I felt like she didn't do a good acting
I
job.
mean, it was like some of that, like
She was trying too
I
hard.
don't
She
know.
tries too hard.
Yeah,
She has a couple of
my
songs
problem
that I
with her.
really like. Her videos suck.
Yeah,
Now,
she's not.
Happy, I love that song. I used to sing that song to my oldest daughter. We'd
Mhm.
be in my apartment, and I know these are moments she doesn't remember, but we'd be in my apartment, and I'd be singing how happy I was because I was finally a mom to a daughter. And I
Oh.
would sing that song to her all the time, and I'd even put her name in there.
Uh,
So
but yeah,
those are like some of the songs I like, but yeah, overall as a person, she just seems really fake. And it was
Well,
really weird how she was able to get. I know this is totally not about Real Housewives of Potomac,
yeah,
but being
yeah.
that they both were under Ja Rule, it's really weird. Christina Milian and her, it's weird how she was the one who took off and not Christina.
Because Christina actually could sing too,
She could sing, and Christina
and
can't
she could
dance.
dance too.
And she can act. So
Yeah.
it was weird.
well, I did watch a video where they were trying to say that Ashanti had a thing going on with Irv Gotti.
Mm.
So if that was true, that could be it.
That could be why, y'all. That would explain it because Christina Milian's talent just to me, I think personally she should be further off than what she is. She should really be up there with Beyonce or,
Well, I'm not
J
now. I'm not
Lo.
singing as strong of a voice as Beyonce. Now, Beyonce, like people can hate her, but the girl can sing.
No, no, no. I mean like as far as being a triple threat, like being
Yeah,
out there. She's
yeah.
not no she her name should bring about crowds in a sense too because of her talent. Now, I'm kind of surprised it doesn't. I don't know her whole issue behind the scenes, but yeah, you would just think that she would bring about more. I didn't mean to make her leave.
She's like, I've had enough.
Oh goodness.
I'm done, deuces.
Say nothing negative about Beyonce.
Yeah, I think she's having some internet issues with this
Okay.
week. Because she's still there, but I just can't see her picture yet. Absolutely. So yeah, so that dancing squirrel, Candace, still, but she kills me when she talks about her potential career. Her, she's funny. She's over there waving her arms
Yeah, for somebody who
backstage.
doesn't have
Bring back Boston.
yeah, for
No,
somebody who doesn't have faith in themselves, she sure is very confident she's gonna
She
be up
is
there.
very confident in a way that I'm like, girl, where did you get that confidence from? She can't wait to work with, the
The
big
greats.
people. Yeah, the great. Now, something else about her. Like Candace's storyline this season, I haven't really cared for too much. But I feel like if Candace would have, she could have made a really good storyline, right? Okay, so I need y'all to follow me now. So y'all remember last season, she had got her deal. She was working with Chucky Thompson, right? She could have easily told us a little bit more in that. Got us engaged in her career, what she's doing. Because we all kind of know Chucky. So that would have been great. And she could have been like, okay, tell us more about what happened with that deal. Kind of, you know, you know, like I said, I felt like that would have been good. And then maybe we would have rooted for her. Like, okay, I hope this single does well. I can't stand it, but I hope it goes well because, whatever happened with her contract. And then now, he passed away last week from COVID.
Oh, was that the guy who died?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, so that could have even, well, I get it that they've already taped that, but, I don't know. I just felt like she could have had more of a storyline. Um, but instead, she's giving us bits and pieces of us watching her dance like a stick. Um, so I don't know. I'm just, yeah.
see, that was
So,
I would have edited that out. I'd be like, y'all take that out.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know
I would have
why she
asked them
wanted
to
that to
please
be
take it out.
shown.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
you
maybe
could get me singing because her voice ain't bad. Like, give me like singing. Don't get me
this
doing that.
that's the thing. Like her voice is not bad, but she has like a pageant girl voice. That's the problem. I just feel like her voice needs to be developed more into a true like R&B singer. Because that's what I feel like. I feel like she's just not there. But I can't knock her voice because she does have a nice voice, but it sounds like
Hmm.
a pageant girl screaming on stage to me. That's kind of what it sounds like. But like I said, it doesn't sound horrible, but it's not really what I want to hear her singing. We could get her on Glee. Can't they get her on Glee? Shit, her voice would be great on there.
I think she's not bad. Maybe it's she
Yeah,
gotta
I say
find
she's
her
not
type
bad.
of.
Yeah, I think
I
she
mean, I
needs
think
more of
maybe.
a vocal coach, a better vocal coach to help her.
So maybe she need, and then maybe her style of music or coach. I think that'll do it. 'Cause
Hmm.
she
Yeah,
gotta. I think she probably could have a strong voice. Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. If
I
she
think she
develop it
could
and work
too.
with it, yeah,
Yeah. I really
absolutely.
think she just needs to get with some of the great vocal coaches.
Yeah, exactly. And I think she'll be all right if she does that.
Hmm.
But right now, I'm just not impressed with her dancing around
I
in that
mean,
yard. Wasn't impressed at all.
yeah.
Um, and so, oh, I forgot about this. When they went back to the house, they were all relieved to be back at the house. They were exhausted from all of the
The
whatever this
extra,
was in
yeah.
that table. Yeah, it was a lot of extraness. All right. So the next morning, Wendy and Karen sit down and they have a conversation. And so Wendy walks into the room and she has on, that Kim K loungewear. That's what she's wearing. And then Karen has on her little outfit. And so Karen basically says to her, like, okay, you're covered up today. And she tells her, don't allow her to change you. Go change into your swimwear or whatever. But it's crazy that I guess the conversation she had with them, she's about to go swimming. She doesn't even have on her swimsuit. So that leads me to believe Wendy has some self-esteem, self-confidence issues. If just like that lady says that to you and now you're covered back up. But her and Karen, they have a good talk. It was a nice talk. I enjoyed watching their talk, and Wendy, she was vulnerable, and let Karen know, that she was hurt by them saying that, well, by Giselle saying that she doesn't have substance. That really, really hurt her and bothered her. And she had also mentioned she hadn't slept the night before, and she said it was because she missed her kids, which she could have. But sometimes you know how somebody says something to you, and then it just carries with you, and then that night you're still thinking about it. I'm almost wondering if that's really what happened, but she doesn't want to say that. Um, yeah, so I like that little scene between the two of them. It was a nice, enduring scene. I felt like. What did y'all think of that scene?
So let me go first.
I want you to go first because I want to see what you think. Because I want to see if I'm
So,
gonna be on by myself.
so no, I don't think you are. I don't think you are. So first of all, hold on, what was Karen? I'm like Karen trying to show sexy over there on the side. I saw them little fishnet things,
Yeah,
whatever.
them red fishnet stockings.
But anyways, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's good to let loose sometimes. Like she ain't doing it every day. Like whatever that is, I want to see what it is. But so my thing was, first of all, I don't think that it was a lack of self-esteem or confidence because that outfit wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, I want that thing. I would love that. It
Yeah,
looks so
that
comfy. I
Yeah,
want that
but the
too.
whole thing, that whole set is like 250. Like I went on the site looking.
I
Yeah.
they
saw
got
it like
Apple Pay.
I saw it on Fashion Nova or something like cheap, like a the knockoff. I
Oh,
think
the knockoff
the knockoff is still
one.
cute. The knockoff is still cute. But so I feel like maybe she just trying to sport all her outfits. Like I don't think it was a matter of oh I'm gonna cover up because if you seen in the clip with the swimsuit, look like she definitely ain't lacking confidence at all.
But that's
And
after her and Karen had that talk, and Karen
no,
was
but I
like,
think she was going to put that on regardless. It was in her bag.
Anyway,
It ain't like she brought a different swimsuit. You know what I mean?
right.
Like I don't think I really do believe she's trying to wear out her outfits. And she gonna because to me it wasn't covered up. Like if she, now she came in with like a baggy shirt on with them sweats or those little pants, I'd have been like, yep, she covered up. What she I like that must have really hurt her feelings. But to me, you still got the crop top on. I mean, she said a little cleavage. It wasn't like it was just
the
like
night
you know what I'm
before.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, because before that was just like nipple covers that
Pretty
shirt.
much,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I'm like, so to me, I think she's just trying to wear out. And then she also said it's for breakfast, which when you look at the time, wasn't it like noon? I'm like, they still gonna have breakfast? But, okay,
Heck no.
because I'm
According
like,
to
y'all ain't even
Robin, that's
catching it.
breakfast time. Look, according to Robin, that's breakfast
But I'm
I
like,
time.
but
know Robin was
everybody else
still
gets
asleep.
up early, so how are y'all like just not having breakfast? I know it ain't for one person because she just got. I mean, she'd have just been in the bed still asleep. Forget that.
Yeah, and
But
she was still in the bed while they were up,
She
preparing for
sure
breakfast.
was. You
She was
still
in that
heard her
room
snoring.
snoring. Yeah.
but the part that so I do like what Karen said. I do like it. However, I don't think it was genuine 100%. Like
Thank you.
I think you making allies now. I think that's what it felt like to me. It felt fake. Like you making
Yes.
allies. Like it
Thank you,
wasn't
Reese.
like yeah, it wasn't like on no
Oh,
because like first of all, she stayed out of all the drama. She stayed out of it. So now you the level-headed person, which you need those. Like I mean, literally, her, and Mia probably was more level-headed at the dinner that night, and maybe what's
Miss
my
Sarah.
acrobat? So maybe what I'm saying, maybe her because she didn't really say too much.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, how I don't know. It felt fake. Like just that whole,
Okay, so
come here and let me comfort you and hey, you are who
okay,
you are.
You.
You are who you are.
so
You don't let them do that.
You know,
You don't let her do that. And I know how she is and this and that. And it's like,
okay,
if it wasn't against her enemy, I would buy it. But it's against the one person that in the whole group that you can't stand.
right.
So that's why I said to me, a piece of it might have came from a good place, but I think there's motive behind that. You creating
okay. So
allies.
I know this is your first season seeing it. but she has been this way towards other people. So that was what her relationship was with Candace before they had their drift. That she was that, auntie figure. Because like even when they had their 1 year anniversary party, she introduced her mom and she was like, and the second most important woman to me is Karen, because
Yeah.
she was like the big
Mhm.
sister, the auntie or whatever to her.
And Karen
So she has
stabbed her in the
been that
back.
way.
Yeah, but can you say that against the person that's like your arch nemesis and you like, of course, if I mean, because me personally, they done threw us in this little house together. Anything that anybody in that house did that I ain't like, if we all on one accord with it, I'm gonna have your back. Like, yeah, they shouldn't have said that about you. They shouldn't have said that about you either. I didn't like how she looked at you. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, because why else? You know what I mean? And then I would say the one thing I would say was good that she said was don't let her see it get to you because
Yeah, I love
possibly
that. Yeah.
that could have triggered Giselle to go in on her again. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh,
But
absolutely.
but
Giselle
at
would
the
have been
same
like, "What is she
time,
crying?"
at the same time, maybe seeing some emotion would have also showed her
No,
what I
look,
say
there's
what you
no
said hurt.
emotion that's gonna get to that stone faced woman. There's no amount of emotion being
No,
shown.
because look at what happened with Mia. When she saw the truth, like, okay,
Yeah.
you telling your story and now I see, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to figure out why old girl is so different. Yeah, I know she's digging, like there's a motive behind even that too. But it's
Yeah,
like, but if you sit here and you're like, regardless of what's going on with me, like this is hurtful because it came from my friend. Oh, and that's the other part I didn't like. So if it was such a big deal, was so hurtful, this and that, and you got all this energy to clap back on the next episode, why you ain't say something then? Like,
Right.
why is it that all these multiple fights? Like, it just seemed like she just
and if you
a
think about
build
it,
upper.
sometimes, yeah, but if you think about it and look at these women, a lot of times they are not good at their instant clapback. That's even like Giselle. She sat there looking stupid while they were going in on her and Jamal. But now all of a sudden, she's got all this mouth and all this stuff to say. So I kind of get that because they're not good with their clapbacks. They're really not like an instant clapback. Karen will do pretty good, but hers is more shady than a real clapback, though. But they're not good at it. They're not clapback queens like they should be, considering the way they dish it.
Yeah,
But
they're not
yeah,
Atlanta.
like Nene would have ate her up the second she opened her mouth. Like that would be a good showdown, Nene and Giselle. But I
Ooh.
actually no. I need to put Nene with Candace. Like Candace clapback is better than Giselle. So I'd probably put those two against each other, and that'd be a battle there. But they're just not good at it, And oh, I'm sorry, Johnny didn't get to say her opinion. What
No,
did you
I
think,
think
Johnny?
Reese was on the money. Cause I'm sorry. Even if it's a person that if I truly felt the way I felt that morning, I would have more
Mm,
than likely felt that way that night when she was getting all tossed, all the people saying all that stuff to
mhm.
her. I would have said it then. I would have said,
Yeah.
you know what? I don't really want to entertain going back and forth, but don't let them dictate to you how you want to be. You be you. And
Mhm.
then I would have, when if we had a personal conversation, I would have piggybacked off of that. You know what I'm saying? But I totally, when she was sitting there telling her, and even with that fake ass hug, I didn't believe anything that she was saying to her. It did not hit me as a, oh, look at Karen being sweet moment, because you also got to remember how she treated her last year. She treated her like shit. She even pretended like she didn't even know the girl. And now all of a sudden you want to be, oh, it's gonna be okay. You be you, girl. You be you. Last year you were
We
dissing her
know,
about who she was.
but you know what? They all kind of do that to each other. That was like Wendy. You remember when Wendy was dissing Ashley, but then she's over there, at Ashley's little pamper party thing. But last year she didn't like Ashley so much. She told Ashley that she needed to refer to her as Dr. Wendy.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah, so they
But you don't
all,
see
have
Wendy
their
sitting there
moments.
hugging on Ashley either and giving her personal one-on-one advice. Like, I just felt I did not feel the sincerity in that scene
Yeah.
the way you
Oh
did.
no, but I think I also felt it because I felt like Giselle was completely wrong with the way she came at Wendy, and then also telling her she has no substance. So maybe that's why I could say I felt like maybe it was sincere. I'm like somebody is comforting her because Giselle is still walking around like she didn't say anything inappropriate to that girl. I just I don't know. me. I
Yeah,
don't like
it's funny when Giselle gets put in her place. Not many people do it, but when she does kind of humble and calm it down a little bit for a short period of time. But no one's put her in her place yet. So we'll see what Wendy says next week once Ashley comes around and tells her what Giselle's been saying. But
yeah.
you
And I
know,
was, oh, and to add in something else, I was a little bit disappointed because the previews made it seem like the fight with Wendy and Giselle was going to happen this week.
this week,
Or
yeah.
was I
No,
mistaken?
I thought it was this week too because I was like, dang, how long is this dinner? When are they gonna have
Yeah.
time to fight later?
Yeah.
And shoot, look, even when they rolled into the next week, I don't know if it was just my thing just didn't tell me, but it like kind of rolled in like it was still going. I'm like, oh snap! No, wait, oh that's next week. I
That's
was like,
next
wait a
week.
minute,
Yeah.
what y'all doing? I ain't like how they did
Yeah,
my
because they
preview.
started the aerobics, the water aerobics.
Yeah, like it felt like
Yeah.
it didn't. It kind of flowed in, like okay, everything is gone, and we're just skipping right to it. I'm like, okay, oh, they in the pool already. All right, but yeah, I can't. So if Karen is being genuine, she got to work on that because she come out fake.
She does.
She came out to me. It just came out fake. Like, yeah, go ahead and get it out. Let her cry. But also to me, I wouldn't. I don't feel like. So if you're my friend and I'm really like, hey, I would be like, hey, I don't know. I guess then she'd be mad too because maybe the comment of lacking substance or whatever is not so much as you ain't got no substance. It's more like what Johnny said, where you haven't been showing it the way you normally do. So it's all
Right.
about wording, and I don't think they meant it. Like it's kind of like that whole um,
But it's
I'll just be gone and you be 6 feet in the ground before this fade or whatever. Um, it's wording, and I guess how you personally take it. Because when she said it initially, I was more like, whoa, the loose. You know what I'm saying? But I guess anything involving her intellect is what triggers her. And so of course she's gonna take it that way, but I don't even feel like they were saying it in that like I don't know, I didn't take it that way when they said it. I was more on the loose thing. But if you wanna feel like somebody who don't disrespect my degrees and don't disrespect my substance, well,
But you could tell, like when Giselle said it, and I was shocked that Giselle didn't backpedal when she saw it. You could see Wendy's face, and she looked like that hurt. You could tell when they panned over to Wendy. It was. I was like, "Damn, girl, say something. If that's not what you mean, correct that."
you know
It's like,
what? I'm sorry to cut you off.
no,
Only because I knew somebody who did somebody I work with did a show where they were doing like the house thing. It's like 190 day or 100 day house, whatever, dream house or whatever.
yeah.
And like he said, it kind of annoyed. Like the house came out beautiful, turned out beautiful, and the couple they were real cool that was doing the house. But he was saying that every time they would ask a question, the wife was like, oh, I'm not really sure, he said that wasn't really happening. And then there was another part where they said something and the girl was like, and I was like, how'd you feel about that? He said, we didn't see that. So I'm almost wondering, are they
But
is
they were
every
at the same table together,
but if
so
it
you
cuts
can't
to
say she
just
didn't see
her, if it cuts to just her, you don't know what they just did. Maybe
that.
she
I
was
don't know.
spoon face or something. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying, like, there could be a reason why she didn't catch the face.
Right.
Yeah, because she's so self-centered, she wasn't going to catch it. She had already said some insulting things to Robin, and then now she's over here attacking Wendy. Like she was on a roll. Why? I don't know. But it's just that same pattern where she's in a room and it's like she's looking around like, what can I insult? What can I pick apart in this room?
Well, it goes back to all that we've already said. You know she's not happy.
Oh,
So
she's miserable.
when
You
she's
could tell
not
she
when
is
someone's
miserable.
yeah, when someone's not happy, they make your life miserable. So it is what it is, and I think that's just what should be expected
Hmm.
from her. And
Just
if you're gonna
Say
expect
to be
continue
bad
to hang out
expected.
with
behavior.
her, huh?
I can't, I
That
can't, I
you
can't just expect bad behavior.
so no, but she is right. If this is a person she always shows,
Right.
Yeah, like I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm not going to say what she is saying or doing is okay because it's not. I just can't. I can't be okay with just that behavior. It's like learn from it. Okay, I understand you did this, but learn from it and
I mean,
change
and
your
maybe
behavior.
somebody need to sit her down because maybe she really has such a personality. She does not realize what she's
Doesn't
doing.
realize
There's
it.
some people who I done seen be like mean and just didn't know they were being, because to them it's just I say what's on my mind and I'm gonna say what I
Yeah,
want to say and that's it.
that's
And
what
if
she
that's her
is.
personality,
Even
you
her daughter
sometimes you
said it.
gotta pull them that type of person
Yeah, even
aside
her
too.
daughter said steady, but you would think like over time when being this way, well, I don't know what it has gotten her in life. I don't know. I don't know. I'll leave that alone.
And maybe she steps it up like this for the show. Who knows?
Yeah,
She
maybe it's a
probably
little
Hopefully she.
does,
extra because of
maybe.
the show. But I don't know. Even her daughter said that, you don't have, you're not a very, they even told her she wasn't a caring person. I can't remember how they
Yeah,
worded it, but they worded it to the point where it ain't just for the cameras. That's who she is.
yeah.
She's just a blunt person. Some people can handle it, some people can't.
Which makes me wonder, like, how was she brought up? Because maybe she was
She
in a
was brought
household
up by
where
a pack of wild animals who
She
did not
was
teach
not.
her very well. That did not teach her very. Look, her parents were neglectful. Her parents were. Yeah,
they, I mean,
yeah,
they could have been. They could
yeah.
have been.
Oh yeah, they weren't paying attention to her, loving her, showing her how to be a nice
Maybe
person.
they weren't.
You're
Like,
right.
I'm being
They were too
serious. Like,
busy marching on the Freedom Walk
cause
and
you
being
can't.
But
civil rights activists. So you're
you know what?
absolutely right.
You know what? Yeah, because he was too busy marching on Washington, right? But if you think about it, Karen repeated what her dad said. He had a hot mic, and you remember he didn't know what that his mic was on, and he was talking trash about Jamal. Karen repeated that. So I don't know, but she said what Karen repeated was a lie. So she herself has called her dad a lie.
Hmm?
Um, I have
So
words.
I mean, I just think that she might be a product of the environment she was brought up in, and I know that from other people I've known who you're like, dang, how come you so like not a you're not a huggy person or you're not a, and if you didn't get that growing up, and then
Right.
if you were in a household where you had to be assertive and always like this and like that, and if people never check her,
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't check her. Like, understand that. They don't check her. There's only been one chick so far that I've seen that actually checked her, and she was in the first season. What was her name? Katie?
Katie.
Yeah. Katie checked her real quick in a hurry. And I was like, oh, it was one of those moments where you're like, you want to laugh because you're so nervous because you're not sure what she's going to do.
You know what? And I don't understand why nobody will check her because she's not going to do anything. Because her comeback, she don't have a comeback. So you could really get in on her and go in hard. But I
Yeah,
don't
but
know why
that's
they
the
won't do
thing.
it.
Nobody does it. Even when Karen tries to do it, she still doesn't do it. You
She
know,
just Karen be getting it in just like when at that dinner table, and then Giselle sitting there like she didn't even know what to say because Karen was sitting there just eating her food, acting like she was so unbothered. She didn't even know that you were talking to her. That was that was like the best read so far this season. Because it was like, oh, are you talking to me? Because I'm over here eating my salad. And she didn't say nothing back to Karen.
but
She
she
had
never
to.
said Karen either, did she?
No, she never said
no,
Karen
she
though.
didn't.
So it's kind of like I do agree. Like, yeah, she was unbothered eating her salad and all that stuff. So it's like, but I don't feel like that. It was a good comeback, but it still wasn't what you saying. Like, it ain't like she snapped on her and was like, "I apologize to you," and blah
Yeah,
blah blah blah.
she didn't snap on her, but she got her without even having to snap on her. But she got her. She got her in check. And she shut her. Well, she did
But
keep
it
on trying
didn't.
to pick a fight, but she didn't come right back at her.
Yeah, but it's like it wasn't enough though. It ain't to me. It's not what I'm saying. So like, so when she's in this mode of I'm gonna ask you all these uncomfortable questions. See, me personally, one of them that she asked uncomfortable questions should turn around and ask her something,
Yeah.
They
whether it's
should have.
Candace
Or one
or
of them could
Wendy
have said,
or
I mean, yeah, or one of them could have said, hey, damn, why you all up in my business? You sure shut down when it comes to yours. Get up out of mine.
yeah.
Something along those lines. Like, No one really puts her in her place. Even Robin doesn't
But you
really
know,
put her in her place.
but
But
you
I
know what?
think like
Eggplant was trying, but Eggplant was trying it at the wrong place, the wrong time. You remember? Because she was
Well,
like, "Well, what about your relationship? Are you in a relationship?" So she was actually trying, but
but
she
it being
allowed
irrelevant, like
elder,
you ain't
yeah,
even been there, like.
yeah,
yeah,
she's not, yeah,
long
she's
enough
no
to
one
do
of
it.
relevance.
But also, like, cause she was saying, well, you asking questions, so I feel like we need to put you out there. But it's
Yeah,
like, when she did it, um, to me, Wendy was all like, yeah, 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 you do, yeah, yeah, but you still whispering it or being
Yeah.
like you
because
snapping
I
on
think
Mia,
Wendy was
you
holding
snapping
back
on Mia,
feelings.
who to me, Mia look like she'd have probably whooped that butt.
Yeah,
Then,
Mia
you know what I'm
Whirling.
saying? But you won't come at Giselle. I don't know if Giselle a fighter or what she is.
But
I don't know what she
Giselle is
is.
not a fighter.
I mean, I
Giselle would
don't know.
get her butt
I don't
kicked,
know.
I
I
believe,
don't
by
know.
everybody at their table if they tried her. And then
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think she's one
she
of
ain't
those
nothing.
people who just has the face and the words, and people don't want to try her because they're not too sure what she'd do. But I don't think she would really do anything. Like I said, the only
She
person that I've
doesn't.
seen truly like step to her was Katie. You should watch that episode, Reese. You'll see what I'm talking about. It was it's season one. I think it was like episode 5 or 6. And Katie does read her because Giselle was doing the same thing to her, kind of just constantly putting her on blast and accused her of
Mhm.
doing drugs or whatever. And Katie finally was like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm done being nice. So here's what I'm gonna do, you know." And she checked her. She didn't check her in front of everybody. She checked her one on one, which you have to respect as well.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I still haven't really watched all of it as to why she is the way she is, but she's been that way since season one. Nothing about her has changed. So I just think that's
And
just
that's
her
sad. You would
personality.
think she would have grown, but she
No.
hasn't.
Why?
So
She's like what,
that's why I
56?
believe, huh?
Ain't she in her 50s?
Yeah.
She
She
is in
is
her
set in her
50s, and
ways.
I expect better from somebody who is 50 years old. That's about to be
No,
on
you
the
get worse
AARP
as you get
plan.
older.
No,
You
because
know
you
you
see
get
how
worse
to
as you
me,
get older. When you speak out, you just speak. You just start speaking and speaking. That's
because
why I was happy. Huh?
that makes her and Karen's beef like even more dumb because they
Because
both
of how old
like
they are.
50s. Yeah, it's like, come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just speak
Like
But
your
Candy
truth.
said,
You
it was
just
very
speak.
childish the way
Yeah.
she
mhm.
was
Like you
like,
just speak, you just speak, you just speak. You have an opinion about everything because you're older. It's just like, when your
Yeah.
grandmother would say things like, you're like, oh crap, Granny, why'd you say that?
Hmm.
see,
But
now
That's
see,
my
kind of what
precious
she does.
granny, my precious granny didn't behave in that manner.
Oh, she
So
didn't.
maybe
My
that's
granny
why.
was off the chain.
No, my granny was so precious. Oh, butter just melted in her mouth.
Uh,
Just so
Not
pretty.
my granny. My granny was a firecracker. You just be nervous about what she was gonna say because you just didn't know.
oh no,
Depending on the mood.
I just don't get them. Like, I mean, I guess I get it's for ratings. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but
Yeah, I think some of her putting on is definitely for ratings, and that oh, I lost my train of thought just with that. And then I think she has embodied being the villain,
hmm
and so she is the resident villain, like Kenya. Kenya has embodied it. I think she enjoys being the villain. I think
I
she,
think Giselle like being the villain.
yeah,
Hmm. I think she don't mind at all. But I mean, she isn't scared to say it. So I mean, you can't be scary. Like you can't be Wendy and be the villain because Wendy is too torn between who she really is and then this new persona. And I
Right.
think her real personality is that one that was like, yeah, 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 yeah. And somebody gotta pump her up, or you gotta feel like somebody got your back to come say something. Cause I would have just been like, what is this 101 questions? Like you want, you know what I'm saying? First of all, you could say something easy as that.
Yeah.
Or if you
Like
want to
you
be
said.
mean,
well,
be like, are
I
you so
did.
bitter? Cause like, why
Yeah.
you asking all these questions? Like you, let's talk about you. You know, why are you being so like this? Why? What's making you so bitter that you got to be the only one being negative at the table?
I said I
Right.
would have loved to see her have come back, but I did like when she did check Giselle about when Giselle was like, "You're just dressing too sexy." And she's like, only I can say what is sexy for me. I did appreciate that part.
But I
But like,
don't. That's not what they said. They said you were always sexy.
Yeah, she
but they
did.
did say something about her dressing too sexy because
Yeah,
she
I mean, they
wanted
said the way
him.
you dress, because that's what all that loose and all that. But they said you were always sexy, and I felt like
They
that
did
to
say that
me
to
is a
her.
bigger compliment when
Mm-hmm.
I was at my worst. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm like at my best. So maybe that come, and so I get what she's saying. I define my sexy, but it's like what they said when you finally had your snapback wasn't even at the right time to me because it's like what they said wasn't. They were like you were always sexy.
You are
But
always
to me,
sexy.
when they said that, it almost came off as like when you're arguing with your man and he's like, "Okay, you're right."
Mm-mm.
That's that's
Mm-mm.
that's that's the feeling
Mm-mm.
I got from it. Where it was almost like,
No.
"Bitch, you weren't being complimentary when you came to me, and now all of a sudden you're gonna be complimentary
What they were
as
saying,
as
like
far as
the OU was awesome.
Yeah,
Like you
they
didn't,
don't
there
like
was
the new
nothing
you.
wrong with the old you, but
Right.
now you coming out with this new you suddenly, like a
Right.
midlife crisis, and it's
Right.
like, where is this coming from? Because it was just an overnight. Like you went from being this cool, beautiful, already sexy woman who nobody could see your when you're behind closed doors and you undressed. Like her husband knew what she looked like. She knew what she looked like. She knows her insecurities because even I'm sure Beyonce looks in the mirror and finds flaws, even though a lot of people, which
absolutely
I
we
agree, she
all
has a
have.
beautiful body.
Yeah,
Hmm?
we all have it. I mean, we
Yeah,
all
and so
have it
that's what
inside
I'm
of us.
saying. So you got so she knows her insecurities, whereas and I guess the boobs and the butt was her biggest insecurity, but it's like doesn't mean to you're overcompensating to show that you're confident now. You coming off kind of skanky or whatever, and I feel like they were saying like you were always beautiful. You were in the past. You nothing was wrong with you,
Right.
and let this new body be your nakedness and your beautifulness for your husband. Like, why does everybody in the world need to see this new body? Like, because obviously, if you wear somewhat form fitted clothes, we still gonna see that you got that new body. You know what I mean? I've
Right.
seen people wearing like stuff with a lot more fabric and still was like, dang, they have a banging body. Like y'all said, y'all could see through Karen's clothes that she had a good body. I'm like, I never paid attention enough. Maybe when she had on maybe a fitted dress or something, but it wasn't until I went to that Instagram, I was like, oh snap, Karen got it going on. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. What for me, if you're gonna come at me, you're calling me loose. You're somebody I have of no substance. You can't go back and say something nice, and you think I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna take it as something nice. I'm like, no, bitch, you were just talking about I was loose. You just said I had no substance. Now you're gonna talk about how I used to be beautiful. Screw you. You know, that's how. I'm sorry. That's just me. Like I'm not
but
really.
see, I think too, they're not calling her loose. They saying you look like somebody
You
who's loose.
looking loose. Yeah, they're
Well, she
Like
I,
said it's like you're loose. She's like
yeah,
you're loose.
yeah, yeah.
So
But I mean,
you're
but I
loose.
think
She's
even
like you're
loose.
looking loose, loose.
But I'm thinking like, cause to me, when you say you calling me loose, I'm thinking you calling me, what I'm saying I sleep
Yeah,
around.
exactly.
But I
Because
think they
that's
saying
what.
like loose, like you just like out there, you just open, like free, like you doing the most. That's how I took that loose. Well, I mean, I took it both
But I
ways.
kind of, it kind of goes back to what you're saying. You got to be mindful of the words that you're saying because, like with me and you, where we come from, loose means you sleep around.
Hmm.
So I mean,
Yeah, and I mean, into somebody somewhere else, it may not.
it
So,
may not, but you shouldn't be using a word that has a. Well, I don't know. I
cause I mean, cause of where where we come from, what it means, and like I said, somebody else they may have been like, you just free and this and that. Cause I could say, like I remember our precious grandma, precious grandma.
yeah, she would use the word
She
loose, and that means you are
no,
loose.
but she told me because like I did used to go clubbing a lot, and she was like, "Oh, you a party girl?" And so I was like, "Yeah." I didn't know what that really meant. Like I was like, "Wait a minute." She called me something. I said I wasn't saying yes to that. I was saying yes because I like to party. I like yes, I'm a girl and I go party, so I'm a party girl. I want to be the life of the party. When I go out, I'm having fun. I'm partying. And then somebody else said, "No, that ain't what that meant." I'm like, "Oh
Look,
snap!"
my grandma meant that's not what my grandma meant. Okay.
She meant loose.
She meant.
Sweet, precious mother.
She meant loose, and I'm like, no, I was not loose.
No, no,
I
that's
just
not what
like to
she
go
meant.
out. But you see the kind of the negativity that comes with dressing like that. And I know it because I lived it. Like you can not be loose, and if you dress like you're loose, people gonna assume it. So
Right.
you can't be upset when somebody assumes like you getting wild, you're this and that. Because anybody who knew me knew I was actually a pretty chill person, or I'm quiet, and this and that. Because I got a little drink in me, and we get out in the club, and I was free.
But what if somebody that you knew did call you loose? Somebody that should have known that you're not loose. Uh-oh. Okay. She'll be back in a second. Okay, she's slowly coming back, I guess. Wonder. Okay, I can tell she's trying to come back. Oh, Reese. Okay, well, I guess that was the end of that episode. And so they show us the premiere for next episode, which I wonder if we're really gonna get the fight next episode. Do you think we're gonna get the fight?
I don't know. I think we're gonna get. It's gonna be at the tail end, and it's gonna really go into the following episode.
Yeah, it's gonna roll over, you think? Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right. But guess we're also gonna finally see like the fight with Ashley and Candace too, because I know Candace said something about Ashley's weight. Um, they didn't show a clip of that, but I remember in the trailer it did, where she was calling her big and fat or something like that, and Ashley screaming, "But I just had a baby." So I wonder if we're gonna get that part of it.
Oh wow. Who
Mhm.
said that? Candace?
Yeah, Candace had said something about her weight, and I remember Ashley screamed back at her, "But I just had a baby." So
I think
yeah.
it has something to do with the fact that where'd she go? She just was on there. I think it had something to do with what was it? Ashley bringing that mess to
Yeah.
the place, and I think that was Candace's comeback. I mean, yeah, Candace.
But still, why are you talking about a woman's weight that just had a baby? But
Because
I'll
Candace
wait
is
to
just
see
this.
how that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Probably because why are you bringing up stuff that no one really wants to talk about? So you don't want to talk about your weight, so let's talk about it. Kind of something maybe along those lines of a dig.
And so hopefully she lets everybody know that Giselle was the bone carrier to me. I didn't know until Giselle told me. And we all know anything you tell. And that's something else too. I feel like Giselle pretended like she was going over there to really go visit the new baby. But really, she knew by telling Ashley what she said to her, Ashley was going to bring it back to the group.
Yeah, but
So I
why
feel
would
like,
Ashley bring? My only thing with that was Ashley was the one who told her to bring it up to Wendy. So why would you be the one to do it? That just seemed really backwards to me.
she's so funny. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
my camera, it kept tripping. So camera, I had to switch back to my regular computer camera. That's raggedy. So sorry.
Hey, well, welcome back, Reese. Even though we were just wrapping it up. Oh, I thought you were about to say something. What were
Um,
you were dropped?
I think I was just saying though that you can get that being called something and something like that, being called something and that not
Oh,
really be what it
I
was
was.
all about.
I know what it was. I was like, well, what if one of your good friends called you
Oh,
loose? Somebody who should know that you're not loose.
I mean, it's hurtful. It would be hurtful, but I probably would have snapped back though.
Yeah.
Especially if it was somebody who was like, this is my best friend, yeah, I would have been hurt. But if we're gonna be playing games like that, I'd have been like, hey,
What
especially
about
when
that
a
hot
girl gave
dog?
it an end to say something, I'd have been like, well, at least I got a man, so
Right.
my man like it. What about
My
yours?
man, yeah.
Your man like your attitude? Cause my man like my body, and he like
Right.
when I dress like this.
Right.
I mean, it could have been anyway, but I mean, I get it, and that's why I said I know she really was hurt by it because these are supposed to be your friends, but I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know that they were best. I didn't know they were that close. So.
Oh,
Wendy and Giselle.
well, I'm not gonna necessarily say that they were close, but they were acquaintances on the same team.
Hmm.
Because I don't think any of them are truly friends. I think they're all acquaintances. Um, yeah, because the way they treat each other, like I can't imagine that you're friends and you're treating your friends like this. Like,
Hmm. Because now that she just snapped on Robert, it's like what dynamic duo is broken, huh?
I know, right? But I think they'll go into more detail with that next week, and we'll see that she just didn't know all that was going on.
And maybe she should tell her like, hey, you have to call me out like that though.
Yeah, she probably will.
But then
I
again,
don't
I don't
know.
know if Robin cares.
I don't. She doesn't care right now because she's depressed. She needs to get checked. I hope she follows up on that.
At first, when you was like, she needs to get checked, I was thinking you were talking about somebody who needs a
Uh,
check. Not that
no,
she
she
needs to
needs
get
mental
checked out.
checkness.
One of the things that kind of popped in my mind, not with the Robin thing, but because we talking about Robin, and I know you was probably thinking that gay stuff with them, but it made me think about Michael, and he was making his comments about Juan. I was like, did y'all say he got a thing for him anyway? I was like, so it almost was like, he was like, because first of all, she was asking about Giselle. Well, how Juan even come up? I'm like, he like, so did Juan marry Robin? You know, I'm like, maybe it is something to this booty bandit.
It
He
kind of reminded me of
is.
Stan a little bit. It kind of reminded me of Stan. I just waited for him to do his thing. Like, did they get married?
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But it's like,
I
why you
feel like
worried about
that.
Juan? You trying to make sure he's still on the market, I guess.
Yes, yes,
He
that's what he's
is.
gonna do.
I
Yeah,
like that is hilarious.
yep, yep. So, whew. So with Ashley, is Ashley supposed to spend the night there?
Mm-mm.
Or she
Well,
just
I
going
think
up
she
for
was
the
coming for the
day?
day.
I was about to say, where's she gonna sleep at?
Yeah, she just came for the day. You see her leaving anyway at the end of
Yeah,
at
because
the
Candace
preview.
kicked her out.
She
Hmm.
sure did. Candace was like, I
I don't
can't be
blame
here.
her for
My
that though. From
sister's
what it
here.
looked like, I don't blame her.
Yeah, it looks like it gets real messy real fast.
Yeah, like you brought, like it's already tension. You brought that too. Like you weren't even one of the originals supposed to be here, and you bringing drama. Like,
Right.
oh, and then before we go, just because I meant to say it earlier and I forgot, um, the house is, man. Why would that even be an option? That cottage. Like, why was that?
Seriously, mom.
Why was that the option? Like, cause I mean, if you can't fit, I feel like, well, maybe because everybody's
She should have
grown
picked a
and you
different
can't.
house.
Yeah, pick a different house, or maybe even people had to double up or something. But why would you put anybody in a separate house? Like, I don't know. That just this. And I guess because everybody grown, nobody wants to share a room. But um, that cottage just didn't make sense because it looked so plain and basic. I'm like, that didn't even, to me, the cottage didn't make sense.
Yeah, and then we got some echoing going on. And then y'all remember what asparagus when she was talking to her husband on the phone, she let him know she didn't like the accommodations, which I didn't blame her because I feel like if you're gonna take them somewhere nice, everybody should be able to partake in
Hmm.
it. It's not like we go somewhere and I'm staying at the Waldorf and I get y'all rooms at Ramada. Like that's not it just wasn't right.
Yeah,
I feel like.
yeah. It's at least better be Waldorf Junior. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know,
Because
right?
like you know what I mean. Like it's like okay. y'all in the main house, but the guest house is still just as nice. I promise. The guest house is beautiful. So y'all
Yeah.
just, someone's got to get in the guest house because it's not enough room.
Right.
All right. So there was one last thing I want to bring up that I forgot to bring up. Giselle needs to be careful. The internet has already came for her colorist statements. Well, what they felt like was colorist statements. And then she referred to the cottage as the servants' quarters. You don't catch that?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
girl,
saw
how would you
people
say
were mad. People were mad saying that she said it to Wendy.
that? Oh.
Yeah. So I guess it don't look right. You got two
Yeah.
lighter skinned people saying it to one of the darker ones.
Yeah. So when
And
I heard her say it, I'm like, girl, why?
but I and they were saying why didn't she say it to the group? But I'm thinking it just was a so obviously it's something going on with them anyways that we ain't figured out. And that's why I felt like she came for her only with that comment because they said something about going to the servant quarters or whatever when they were leaving, and then she like, did it feel like servant quarters? And it's like, I don't know. I felt like it was a just some inside jabbing. Why she specifically? I don't know if I believe it was because of her color. Because I mean, she couldn't say it to Karen because Karen would have went off on her. Probably them two ain't friends. They ain't talking. That's the only other person she could say it to that wouldn't have came off as colorist. Now, is she colorist? I don't know. I don't know. She might be. But I did think that is kind of like, because like you said, she needs to be careful. Because if that's not what she meant, it don't come out right that you two are the ones saying it to her. Now, if they had said it to Karen, they probably couldn't say nothing, but yeah, I didn't.
Yeah. Right.
Which it makes sense if she said to Karen, because that's who I wanted to throw the jab at if I was her. But she got something against Wendy too right now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Do y'all have any other thoughts about the show before we go?
No,
Okay. You sure you don't want to defend yourself a little bit more, Johnny, before we go?
no, I'm good.
Look, look, and here's your comeback, Johnny. You sure you don't want to bash some of us
I
before we
know,
go?
right? Thank you, Reese.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, no, I
Cause she went ham on her like that.
I
I
know.
went ham on
Mm.
her.
Just
You don't think
can't
you would a little
stand her.
ham on Wendy?
Just her clothes. Her personally, whatever, but her clothes just ain't.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. I just wouldn't want to be the only one that look like that, and I'm claiming to be the most sophisticated. But yet, and it's true. You gotta step out of that sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's still ways to do it that,
Not
or
everything.
time. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I wouldn't want women looking at my boobs. I'd want my man looking at them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or other men looking
Other
at
men, yeah,
them.
like, yeah, I
I
want
guess.
somebody who so I can say I'm taken.
I guess we couldn't
Yeah.
see. Look, we couldn't see that young stallion sitting across the table from them. Maybe that's what she was aiming them at.
Maybe.
But I feel
All
like
right.
even if I mean maybe a man would find that attractive, but I felt them things like that's gonna pop. Like them things was actually scaring me a little bit. I'm like,
You
those is
know what?
they were too tight in there. Like,
The boobs to me, they look like she just put two oranges like up under her skin or something to me.
well,
They're
they're
just,
bigger than
or
oranges,
maybe
but
she's always pushing them up. Maybe that's why it's like that. I'm like, um,
Yeah, because I think that was
they
Giselle who
make me
said they look like they're in your neck.
she needs to stop talking about people's necks.
but you gotta admit them things was up high. Like I know
They
if she went like that,
were.
she's gonna definitely
And
hit
you
him.
got to admit her neck is so wrinkly.
Me see?
That I want to like pull it back and then tie a rubber band on it for her.
Oh, whatever.
I don't think it's that bad. Nah.
It is
Her
not that
neck looks
bad.
horrible. She needs
I'm gonna have
some.
to go back and look, but I don't think it's
Yeah,
that
go
bad.
It is not
Oh,
that. You
this
know what
last
is
time she
that though,
did have
Reese?
a little
That
moment.
big ass vein on the side of Karen's big ass forehead. That
She
is
would
what's
have
really bad.
why is Karen in this? Why is Karen in this?
Cause she got to get your girl. Cause you were like Karen seems the most amazing. Karen was the
Excuse
sweetest. Karen has no motives.
me. Oh,
Nobody.
let me tell
Karen
you
is so
something.
sweet.
You can walk into the room and see Giselle and Robin tongue kissing, and you'll be like, "Oh, Giselle was choking you. Robin was trying to help her.
She was trying to give her the Hamlet
What
maneuver,
is
or no,
going
trying to
on?"
give her
From
mouth to
mouth to
mouth,
mouth.
and they just ain't learned that you don't have to do that
You
no
don't
more.
you
That's
don't you don't have to use the tongue.
Yeah,
like, oh, she trying to do the sweep method. Like, no, use your finger for the sweep method, girl. Not no,
That's right.
not your tongue, girl. Stop. You're doing it wrong.
but you got to sweep in the mouth.
Wrong spot, girl. Stop. But no, yeah, you know good and well. I know y'all's heading should be team and team. I'm just in the middle here watching and laughing.
Whatever.
So yeah,
I,
but I say,
I
oh
think
girl
this
was showing
is
her. She was showing herself today though. I was like, dang, somebody needed to hit her with some questions. I wanted her to be uncomfortable at one point because I was like, that was getting uncomfortable. I'm like,
yeah,
make her feel that because that was weird.
right. I thought Ashtray was about to do it, but she didn't. She backed out.
Nah, well, cause she couldn't really. Cause I think when they were like, she was like, I'm not gonna answer it in front of her. I'm not gonna talk about him in front of her. Then it was like, no, that's not fair. That's not fair. And then that was it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, well, you talking about everybody else's private stuff, so go ahead. You want to talk about that? Okay, well, let's talk about the baby, the outside babies. Let's talk about some. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm sure they told her about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe Estella got some info.
Yeah, I think Karen them gave it to her. I'm sure Robin probably gave some too, but I think Karen was also feeling them in, or
Oh yeah,
maybe.
and I'm gonna tell you how I think Robin did it. So her and Robin hanging out. Oh, let me give you a lowdown on all the women. That's
Mm,
how it came out.
Yeah. That
probably.
might be.
And so
Yeah.
then Estella, she all oh, what did I call her? Escargot, she got all riled up. Oh yeah, I can't wait to get in there. I know all the information.
Yeah, because you really, when she makes comments, it almost like she's already been there. So day one, it did seem like she she was a little too comfortable already fitting in. Not to
Yeah,
say that she
so
couldn't just be cool, but
so weird. I was like, what
yeah,
in the world?
yeah,
But yeah, and we'll see. I just kind of want her to be quiet and kind of calm down. Okay, it's like, girl, you don't have to do all of this. Just
yeah.
sit back, watch Mia, and be the new girl and work your way in.
Hmm.
But all right, so that is our show today on episode 6 on season 6. Alrighty. And so thank you for watching. If you stayed all the way to the end, you are an MVP. And thank you for staying this long. And again, if you want to join our shady crew, we got plenty of shade. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you
I
hit the
like
like
one.
button on your way out. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.